That's a nice jacket. I like that.
Oh, thank you. I'm not even joking. I've had it since high school.
Because I can wear things from high school also.
Yeah, I was able to wear things from high school up until last January, and then I gained all this COVID weight, and now nothing fits me.
I don't understand how you can be the same weight you were in high school. That's crazy.
Normally I am. Yeah, because
crazy.
I'm a teeny weeny. I've always been the same size. I've actually, when we were at BLI and I was biking every day, and then I got super skinny when I got home because I was at the gym 5-6 days a week.
Mm.
That was the thinnest I ever was. Like I was in better shape as an adult than I was when I was in high school.
So you weigh the same when you graduated that you do now?
I don't know. Am I supposed to get bigger when?
The minute you hit 30, it happens like that. When you say I do and you hit 30, game over.
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually thinner on my wedding day than I was any day that I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah, and I wasn't fat in high school. I was an athlete, so I was like muscular and playing sports all the time. I don't know. I'm tiny. I'm just tiny. I'm just naturally tiny.
Yeah.
But eventually I'll grow.
I was half my size in high school. I was probably 99, 100 pounds in high school.
What?
Yeah, I was very skinny. Like my kids now. My kids now weigh 100 pounds.
Wow.
So I didn't weigh anything because I never ate anything. I just didn't gain weight. I was very skinny. So when people see me now, they're like, oh my God, you used to be 100 pounds.
How many of you are in those pants?
Right.
Yeah, right. No, I understand.
So when I go to high school reunions, it's kind of scary. It will take you back. So that's why I only went to one.
They're like, what happened to you? Are you okay? You on some sort of medication that makes you balloon up? What's wrong with you?
Right. You look good. Now you look like a balloon animal. When did that happen? Well, it happens when you turn 30 and you say, I do. Because once you say I do, you don't care.
I think it's a short girl thing, since I've always been, I'm 5'2". And what's so funny is I was 5'2" at a really young age. So there was a point that I was the tallest girl in my class. And I'm not even kidding, because I shot up immediately. And I'm walking around 5'2", looking down those other little 3'8" girls and 4'2" girls. I'm like, oh, look at these tiny little girls. And I mean, literally, I played basketball because I was the only person who was tall enough to reach the net, And then they all just kept growing, and I just never did. So
because they hit 7th grade and they actually grew.
And then everybody else shot up, and I was like, hang on a minute, what happened here? This is all I get? 5'2" and then no more. Yeah. And I just, I've always been the same size. I just have been. I've put on some COVID weight, so I'll take that off, once I get back to my life. But right before COVID, I was probably in the best shape of my life.
So when you got married, you didn't balloon up?
No, remember, I wasn't happy.
Oh, so yeah.
I wasn't one of those. Yeah.
If you're married and happy, it's different.
Yeah. If you're married and happy, you guys probably eat together and do stuff together. And not me. I don't know. I guess I don't think he was happy either. He'd gained a lot of weight, and then he lost a lot of weight, and he was too skinny. We were both too skinny.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because I guess we were both getting ready to meet other people.
He had to roll over and look at you every morning. Once you do that, you're like, I think I'll just go ahead and eat myself to death. Yeah, speaking of getting married, this guy, Matt Berry, you know who Matt Berry is?
No, that name's familiar. Where do I know him from?
He's the guy from, God, what is that show called? No, I'm going to have to get out of this again to figure out what this guy is.
Oh, is it the British guy that I love?
Yes, from What We Do in the Shadows.
Right. What We Do in the Shadows, and he's doing the Advil ads right now. He's got that voice that's kind of like this, but British.
Oh, really? So he got a voiceover gig.
Yeah, well, so he has this show on Netflix called Toast, Toast of London, and his last name is Toast, and he's a voiceover guy. That's the whole joke of it all. So he actually does voiceovers in real life, Matt Berry. Yeah, he's very funny.
Okay, so he wrote a letter to his wife.
To my ever-loving wife, during the last year, I have attempted to make love to you 365 times.
So once a day,
I
or
succeeded 36
is that one weekend?
times.
It's 36
This averages
times he
once
did.
every 10 days. And the following is a list of reasons why I did not succeed.
Oh no! Oh God!
We will wake your mother 7 times. It's too hot 15 times.
Oh no!
It's too cold 3 times. I'm too tired 19 times. It's too late 16 times. It's too early 9 times. Pretending to sleep 35 times.
Oh wow, that's a lot of pretending to sleep. It's not easy to do.
Window open, the neighbors will hear 3 times. Backache 16 times. Toothache 2 times. Headache 6 times. I'm not in the mood 21 times.
Well, at least that's
Will
honest.
make the cat jealous 18 times.
He wrote
No.
all these down.
Mud pack 3 times. I'm too drunk 17 times. We have company in the next room 7 times. Mind my hair 28 times.
Wow, she must have beautiful
Is
hair.
that all you think about? 83 times. Do you think we can improve on our record this coming year? Your ever-loving husband, Don.
Yeah, see, that's what it's like to be a guy.
That's great. That's really funny.
That he writes all these down so he can ask her later. This is why you said no.
I love that he's tried every single day. Like one day had never passed that he didn't try.
Well, you have to if you're a guy because you want it every single day.
Right.
That's the bad thing is you want it all the time, but she's going to make up excuses why she doesn't want it.
But I wonder how many times she wanted to and he didn't want to. Because that happens.
Never.
Believe it or not, that happens.
Not in the first couple of years of marriage. That's not going to happen.
Oh yeah, I have to say, like, I mean, this is probably TMI, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Up until the pandemic, and I'm glad you brought this up because there's a study today that I want to ask you about. Up until the pandemic, I would say that we had like a really good sex life. I mean, and I would ask friends like, how often do you guys, and we were definitely way ahead of everybody else. I was surprised at how few times a week my friends were having sex, or how few times a month, some of them, like, once a month, twice a month. It's just so odd how that happens. But I guess it depends what you do for a living and when you come home. So I understand, like, I have 2 friends that are both doctors. I get that they only have sex like twice a month. They barely see each other.
Right.
So that's a lot for them. But if I was having sex twice a month, I would sit my boyfriend down and be like, we have a problem. But what's interesting is there was a study done about the pandemic that said women perceived that sex during the pandemic was bad sex. It was like they did it just because everyone was home and let's just do it. You're here, I'm
what else
here,
you got to
whatever. Right. But men were like, oh my God, we had so much great sex during the pandemic. Like the men perceived the fact that they had more sex as being great. Like our sex life was amazing during the pandemic. And women were like, I don't know, what else is there to do? Fine. And it wasn't great sex. It was just sort of like, checking off a box. Like, oh, okay, so today I made bread. We had sex.
We
I took a
wasted
shower. Well, we watched another episode of Better Call Saul. Like you just went down your list of all the stuff you've done, and sex was just something else on the list for women.